Greetings all, Vanna here for the Earth Signs weekly message. Thank you. So my first message for you Earth Signs is to pay attention because there is so much that is going on right now, and Spirit wants me to remind you that they never get tired of you asking for help, asking for confirmation, asking for guidance. It's what you do when those messages come in, but they themselves never get tired of you reaching out and saying, I need something. And come back here, you're important. What my Tauruses might be facing is what could initially feel like a very painful situation or shifting in energy or conversation, that it's not as detrimental as it looks on the surface. So like a painful conversation where something real is discussed, or someone just finally has to say their opinion about something, or that their perspective on something. There is something that is going to initially feel like a gut punch to you. And I'm speaking from my own experience with this because it's something that I'm dealing with personally right now. It is not as destructive as your brain and everything is making it out to be. You will be okay, but there is something in the present situation that has to go. And it's carrying through. You have Jupiter, the planet of expansion. You had Aries. We just had a Aries new moon or full moon. And then 12. So that's literally like completing one cycle and starting a brand new one, becoming a brand new version of you. And you have Sanctuary, especially for my Virgos out there. The Golden Palace is protecting you, is protecting what is sacred, what is important, and what you feared was going to be destroyed in that storm. And with the storms that we've had in the south here recently, you can tell how powerful that force of nature can be. And it makes you feel like you don't have any strength. And I know how scary this is for my Capricorns out there. To see those sailboats in the reverse. To make it feel like you have not done enough to ensure your success. You've done everything that you can in this present moment, my love. That's why you're being asked to pay attention, because you're about to be brought into something that is completely different, that you don't even know what you're going into. And it's going to feel strange with home in the reverse. Or that's what you're dealing with now, because I saw stuck in the mud is beneath home in reverse. It's not where you need to be, but it's where you found yourself for a very long time, because you found a sense of strength here. You found a sense of resilience. Yes, you live in Tornado Alley, but you also know how to react to tornadoes. You know how to react to these situations, so you feel like you could just continue to deal with it in this place, when in reality you could have a much more stable location if you moved, if you adjusted. But that does require a lot of work. It does require a lot of upset. Give is being offered right now. I saw 333 when that came across. That is the number of divine communication, especially from the angels. And that is what they are asking you to do right now, is to give to them what it is you're afraid that this storm will destroy. Because I promise you, if it is something that is meant for you, it will be held and cradled and protected in this golden palace until you are ready for it, until you have the strength to hold everything right now. It does not mean that what you love right now is going to die. It does not mean that it's going to leave you forever. But I want to tell you, my love, there is a choice. You could stay where you're comfortable. You could stay where the constant is what it is, and you know how to react. Or you can embrace the chaos and the change that is a new situation. And I know that's painful, that's scary, especially for my earth signs. I'm triple earth, sun, moon, rising, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You think it's fucking easy for me to accept change? You think it's easy for me to know that I'm gonna have to go through that learning experience again? No. No, it's not. But that's also why I'm getting this message here too. That what I love right now is more of a distraction than an aid to me, because I am pouring too much into it and not enough into the other parts of myself that need love, that need attention. Because that requires looking at things that are really painful. That requires looking at things that I have not seen in a long time. Clarity in reverse. Beginnings in reverse. Bravery in reverse. Because you don't know what to expect, you feel so scared. Because you don't know what challenges you're going to face, you're like, I don't even know how I would react to this situation. I don't know how to prepare for this situation. Especially for my anxious people, the ones that have trauma brain like me, so there are some of us that look for in a situation that's like, okay, if I clean this up, this won't be a problem later. And that has given you a sense of comfort and power in your situation. And you know that if you go into this next phase, if you accept these changes that you've asked for this, because nothing can occur in your life without your permission. These changes that you're going through, I've completely lost my train of thought. Silence in reverse. You cannot. Oh, yes. It gave you a sense of comfort because you were able to prepare yourself in advance for when the aggressor, when the trauma, when the event came in. And that gave you a sense of control. That gave you a sense of strength in the situation. And there's a part of you that knows going into this next phase, you are not going to have that strength. You're not going to have that intuition and direction. And that is terrifying. To go back to that place where you were not brave. To go back to that place where you had to learn how to walk again. You had to learn how to use these tools. You had to learn how to use these machines to get to where you needed to go. Snow and silence in the reverse. You can't keep staying in this place and expecting yourself to be happy because you know it's never happened there. You've had moments of happiness. You've had things where you can stimulate happiness, but that true, unconditional, palpable love for your present situation, that only happens when you are in a place where you feel safe, where the voices outside your door don't cause anxiety, where you don't have to listen in to a room before you go into it to make sure no one is speaking in a harsh or angry tone. You don't have to read the entire room to see who is being the aggressor and who needs defending, because you live in a life of peace. That doesn't mean that you live without strain, without frustrations, but in a life of peace, in a place where you feel safe, you are able to better maneuver through that anxiety, through that triggering emotions. And that only happens when you start going into something that you've never been into before. And so my distraction with my book, it has been preventing me from spending time on further development of my skills, my psychic abilities, and processing trauma. That is part of the reason why I'm writing this story. I know that it is hard to let go of those escapisms, to let go of those comforts that we hang on to. They will be there for you when you come back home to yourself. But you cannot grow if you never step outside of your door, Bilbo. You cannot grow if you don't ever take that unexpected journey and realize that you are so much more than everything you've allowed yourself to be so far. You could continue to stay in your hobbit hole where everything is comfortable, where everything is good. But that's not where the beautiful, amazing adventures of your life are, and that's not where you discover everything that you can do. I mean, think about it. The Bilbo that left the Shire is not the one that came home, and it's not the one that went over the seas. You have so much more to become, my love.